Boom, Chinch. What we doing, man? How we doing? Funbag Friday.
Funbag Friday.
Is here.
Or as Jess, my wife, calls it, she always forgets a name, and she goes, "Are you guys doing the dick bag today?" I was like, "What? Excuse me?" And she's like, and I was like, "Oh, a fun bag." So it's a similar concept. So, but anyway, I'm ready to.
You're like Jess. I don't think we can't promote that. If we called that, we couldn't promote.
No, yeah, we wouldn't be able to promote that. However, what we can promote, man. You are locked in right now because you've been at the network for the past couple of days, and these playoff races, dude. Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Go ahead.
Dude, well, there's just so much good stuff happening. Well, how about first off, let's give props to the Dodgers for clinching because they're 54 games above 500.
98 and 44 at taping today.
Bro, it's incredible. I mean, congrats to Doc Roberts and that organization. When you have Betts, Trey Turner, and Freddie Freeman as your 1, 2, and 3, you're probably a pretty good team. You know what I mean? That's incredible.
It's an all-time roster. It really is. Like the more you look at it, like it's an
all-time roster. And then Walker Buehler goes down, but they bring back Dustin May.
Exactly.
Like, we just have May. He's going to come. And then a couple other guys. And how about this guy? It's incredible. And then let's sign Tyler Anderson for 1 year's $8 million, and he dominates. It's just incredible. It's
awesome.
Kudos to the Dodgers, bro. The Braves and the Mets race. Let's go. Like if you're a baseball fan, let's lock into that division race too because that's getting fun, man. Atlanta is a half game behind the Mets. The Mets have dropped 3 in a row. And to the Cubs. You got to really find a way to win those games. Atlanta's been kind of back and battling the Giants right now.
Yeah.
But when you look at the races, that's the best one.
And by the way, on that one, like people who don't live in this area, like everybody always talks Yankees Red Sox as a New York rivalry. When the Braves and the Mets are both good, that's as big a rivalry as there is in baseball, if you ask me. And fan bases, they hate each other. That's a fun one. All right, keep going. What do you got?
It's great. Yeah, no, it's really fun. Milwaukee's creeping, and now let's go to the wild card because
let's do it.
Or let's talk about Cleveland. Like the White Sox have never gotten going, so Cleveland's playing well. I got a feeling they're going to hold that 4-game lead, but in the rest of the way, San Diego has been terrible since the Soto trade. I believe they're 18 and 19, bro. You get Soto, you get Josh Bell, you get Hader in the back end.
Right.
Brandon Drury's probably the best of the deals that they made. Soto has been non-existent, dude. Like all he does is walk. Like you don't go get a guy that's going to bring you to the World Series or postseason and get him to walk. Like you got to swing the bat. Like at some point you got to expand the zone and take some hacks, take some shots. We're not paying you to walk to first base. That doesn't help. We need you to drive guys in, expand your zone a little bit. And I hope he does. I think. Do you remember Votto a few years when Votto choked up and everyone's like, "Hey, look at his on-base percentage." But
it doesn't matter. That was a knock on the big hurt Frank Thomas early in his career. He was so selective, but it was like, dude, you weigh 275 pounds. We need you swinging a bat. And it's almost kind of like that's what Soto's doing. Votto's a great example of that too. And by the way, nightmare. Don't forget the PED suspension. Like the Padres look like they were trying to build the Dodgers brand. And it's just fallen. Like there's just been cracks in the armor, chinks in the armor, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, and I think that Tatis suspension, definitely hit the mojo over there. Manny Machado's been really the only consistent guy. He's kept them afloat. Obviously, the rotation's been pretty good, but listen. Kudos to AJ Preller for doing what he's doing and going and getting the guys. At the end of the day, the players need to perform.
Absolutely.
These guys, the team is there. But they're underachieving big time. So interesting because Milwaukee's making a run. Milwaukee is closing that gap in a hurry.
Right.
So you look at the wild card as of, what's today? Is it the 15th today or whatever?
God, around the 15th. We're recording on the 15th.
You close it up. I mean, right now, if you look at the wild card, Milwaukee's 2 games back to San Diego and making a run fast. So that's an interesting race. Yeah. The Blue Jays have been playing great baseball.
Dude, they're 6 back. Great baseball. 6 back. That's not. Bro. It's not easy. It's certainly not easy. But it's they can see the Yankees. They can see them. They're looking at them. About 2 months ago, nobody could see the Yankees because they were all the way up there. It's crazy.
Right. It's crazy. And Toronto now is first in the wild card. They're a half game up on Seattle, game and a half up on Tampa. Baltimore's 4 back for that third wild card spot. So that's getting fun too. Bo Bichette's as hot as anyone in the world right now. I mean, it's incredible. You could throw him a BB up there right now, and he'd freaking hit a rocket in the gap. It's
so cool. If you guys haven't listened, this is one of our very first shows we ever did was with Dante Bichette, and he talked all about the approach that Bo has. Go back and listen to that at some point because he gives a lot of when you listen to his dad, you can see how smart of a hitter he is. Just so that's cool too.
Yeah. And Bo really goes to that two-strike approach, spreads out, doesn't have the leg kick. It's really helped him in the last couple weeks. Really has carried the Blue Jays at times.
So cool.
So bro, this is just a fun time. I'm giddy because there's a couple weeks to go and we got these great races and it's just a ton of fun. Man. I love baseball, as I know you do too, Chinch.
Yeah, I know. I'm so psyched. I'm psyched. It's funny, I kind of transitioning and doing work outside of baseball now. It's made me actually be able to be a baseball fan for the first time in 22 years. I'm not kidding. It's amazing. Doing this with you is fun. That's easier. But I don't know. I found
when you're in it.
Yeah, when you're in it, you know how it is during a season. For everybody at home, when you work in baseball, the grind is very similar to playing baseball. I've heard all of you guys say that. It's a marathon. But now when you start seeing, you separate. There's separators, and you're really focusing on the good teams, and you're watching good baseball games and you're watching good stories. There's no better time in baseball than this chilly, starting to get a little chilly on the East Coast. It's beautiful.
Right. Even as a player, bro, when you're in it in September, even in August, when you're in it in August, September, the dog days, you're like, no, man, these aren't the dog days. This is, I can't wait to get to the park and win a game and do something tonight. The place is packed and it's a different atmosphere. So the teams that are in it right now, and that's why I love the wild card too, having 3 wild card teams because it brings more interest from the fans. You know what I mean?
Nice. All right. Hey, so let's move on to the old the foosball, the NFL. You guys you better have listened to the Big Lambuski show by now because he had a lot of tips and tricks for everybody. But hey, let's talk about your hometown team, the Steelers. Ben's gone. They went with Trubisky as their starter, and actually one of the analysts I was talking to the other day was saying actually it was Dave Wanstadt, my new friend. Who you love?
You're now in the NFL. The 33rd player.
The 33rd team. But anyway, he was saying
.com. Yeah, that's where you got Chinch in the NFL. Let's go.
Yeah, but his analysis was Ben's gone now. Even though Mitch Trubisky isn't Michael Vick, you get immediate mobility and you should get even immediate you can kind of speed up your game. And he said they didn't do that last week. That was a crazy game. Did you watch Bengals Steelers? That was crazy.
Dude, crazy game. The Steelers jump out early. Joe Burrow's throwing picks out. 1, 2, 3, couple fumbles. The Steeler defense is swarming. Incredible. But the Steeler offense just kind of couldn't get going in the second half. People were already calling for.
I was going to say, what's talk radio Talk about that.
Dude, everyone saw Pickett. In the preseason, guy was dominant. And he's always won wherever he goes, and people are calling, hey, get Pickett out there. Let him learn at this level. The problem is that offensive line is atrocious. So it was like Swiss cheese, bro. They're like, ready, set, hike, bam, here comes friggin' Trubisky. He's running for his life. It's just trying to dump it off. Najee Harris gets hurt. You know what I mean? So it was crazy. Sometimes that offense, maybe you can't execute right now because the line's not good enough. But that offense sometimes is so vanilla.
Yeah.
You're like all these weapons, and we're just look like poop soup at times.
I know, it's funny.
But dude, we tried to give the game to the Bengals, and then they went ahead at the end of regulation. All they do is kick the extra point.
I know.
Minka Fitzpatrick
what a disaster.
blocks the extra point.
Yes.
Incredible.
Then
it goes to overtime. The Bengals missed a field goal.
Unbelievable.
The Steelers, Boswell misses a 55-yarder, clanks it off the uprights. Somehow the Steelers get the ball back, and then Boswell hits another 50-yarder to win it. It was incredible. It was such a bad ending that it almost should have ended in a tie, but the Steelers ended up pulling it out. But it was not good football. No one wanted to win it at the end. And one other thing for you, bro. I'd like to hear your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's 2022. Why do we still have ties in the NFL? Let's stop it and clean it up. It's painful. Are we morons? Start kicking. Hey, if you don't want people to get hurt, start kicking field goals.
Yeah, exactly. And also it's like This isn't Little League. Like, this is this is a professional job. You shouldn't end a job. It's like if I go to work, whatever, and I do half my work and I just walk home, and then the rest of the work is just sitting there and nobody else did that. It's so stupid. It's stupid. Yeah. It's a professional sports league. Like, I want to see W's and L's. It's not hockey. Hockey, whatever. Unbelievable.
No, but even with hockey.
Well, yeah, no, they made the adjustments.
Dude, they do a freaking shootout.
Yes, exactly.
Just do it during the regular season.
Yeah.
This makes the kicker even more important. You're tied, okay.
Right.
Now it's a 45-yarder, 55-yarder, 60-yard, whatever it is, 56, 57. Yeah. You keep going until somebody wins the freaking game.
Don't even put a clock on. Don't even put the clock on. Just go until somebody wins. You have the rules. You have the rules. If I get the ball, I kick a field goal. If you kick a field goal or you score a touchdown, you win. I get the ball, I score a touchdown, I win. I would say take the clock away. Just take the clock away in overtime. And just, you guys got us here.
But what they say is we don't want guys to get hurt. And I'm like, okay, if you don't want guys to get hurt, at the end of that overtime, guys get each possession.
Right.
Even if they both score touchdowns.
Yeah.
If it's a tie, then you kick field goals.
Yeah, I love the field goal idea. Almost like a home run derby.
The NHL does the shootouts.
That's a great idea. What do you do? Yeah, start on the 20. 20.
Start on the 20.
I have the guys stand on the opposite sides of the field. Oh my God, that would be such great. Oh, dude, let's start like the XFL.
How fun would that be, bro?
Dude, that is a phenomenal idea. Did you think of that yourself, or did you hear somebody say that?
I thought of that myself. I'm sure. No, I did think of that, but I'm sure someone else has thought of that.
I've never heard that said before, so I'm gonna call a patent company right now and try to get that for you.
Yeah, call the 33rd team, whoever's running that show, and tell them.
I will. I know a guy. You know the guy who's running it too.
I know the guy.
Yeah.
You know a guy.
Good guy. So, one other team. I want to bring this up because it's a baseball tie too. All freaking offseason, like, Pat Mahomes didn't have a great year last year. First of all, go look at his stats. He had a pretty darn good year. And then he loses Tariq Hill, and everybody's like, well, here it goes. Here comes the demise. This dude walked out in his first 3 possessions, threw 3 touchdowns. He wound up with 5. And I think that's like, his dad was a professional athlete. I know you guys try not to listen to stuff, but when a really good player starts getting doubted, like, what happens to them? Something changes inside them, and that grit, we always talk about grit, and all that stuff comes out, and it's like, all right, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong today.
Yeah, I always say, collect the chips. Mm-hmm. Give me a reason. Give me a reason, because I'm going to put the work in. Patrick Mahomes is going to put the work in. Like, give me a reason to work a little harder. Give me a reason to get a little grittier during Sundays. Give me a reason to be better. Like, when I see Mahomes, I'm like, oh, you want to give Patrick Mahomes a little bit more, another reason? Watch out.
No, that's
5
great.
touchdowns first week. Collect the chips, guys.
Yeah.
Even the guys at the highest level of the game, they collect the chips. You don't think Tom Brady continues to collect chips?
No, No, I literally just here in New York, the Jets, did not have a good game last week, but the head coach was standing with the media after the game, and they're all just grilling him, and he just starts pointing at them. He's like, I'm taking receipts. He called them receipts. And this is like a huge article today, and he's like, I got receipts from all you guys. I got receipts from everything you guys said. I have all the receipts. I'm going to hold on to these receipts because we're going to get better, and I'm going to hand them back to you and remind you of what you did. And so, like, this is like the biggest, like, it's the only feel-good story about the Jets that came out of last week's, because the entire team got fired up. All the leaders, like the running backs, like the linebackers and everything, they all just went nuts saying how much they love their coach for saying that, and they're all collecting their receipts too. It's like exactly what you just said. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, right. The chips on your shoulder, the receipts, whatever you got to do. I just think the Jets got to get Joe Flacco as the backup and not the starter. That's a big.
Yeah, that's a big one there. On the flip side, though, my boy Saquon, man, I love when a running back's good. I love when running backs can dominate a football game. We haven't had that in years because they do that two-back cabini and stuff. But I love the way Barkley ran.
If Saquon's healthy with a little bit of a line, watch out.
Yeah, he's up there with anybody. He's as good. He's as good as anybody.
He's a killer.
Okay. All right. Now, what else we got? Oh, one other topic we were going to talk about. Or not really talk about, but it's something you did. We still have not gotten this man on our television or whatever show this is, but you went to Pearl Jam. Woo!
Oh, dude.
Did you make the request? Did you make the request yet?
I have made the request already, so it's going to circle back around. Ed will come on the mayor's office at some point. There's no doubt about it. I will make sure of that.
I love it. So how was the show?
Dude, there's nothing like MSG, man. Sarah and I went. It was just a phenomenal show, bro. They played, they played Purple Rain for Prince. Ed put the jacket on. Oh, it was incredible, dude. Incredible.
Wow.
And Josh Klinghoffer came out, who used to be with the Chili Peppers. Now he's in Pearl Jam. Wow. And he sang a little bit of Prince. It was incredible, dude. Nice. And then they played Chloe Dancer, obviously from, Mother Love Bone back in the day. They don't play it a ton, but when they play it at the Garden, it's just something. And that Garden energy, man. There's something about it. Ed feels it. The band feels it. And one of the coolest things, Chinch, they played Keep On Rockin' in the Free World to end it. Mike McCready, the lead guitarist for Pearl Jam, he goes walking off the stage. You're like, what's he doing? As they're playing, he grabs a guy in a flannel, brings him on the stage, and you could tell the guy's kind of like, oh, hey. And then he walks across the stage and you're like, who is that? Who is that? Next thing you know, there's a drum set in the back, which it was just kind of randomly there because they played Small Town earlier. Right. Bro, it's Chad Smith, drummer from the Chili Peppers.
Oh my God, no way! Oh, he's one of my top favorites ever.
So Matt Cameron's ripping, no.
Oh my God!
No, hey, bump, and then here comes Chad Smith next to Cameron.
Crazy, hat backwards and everything.
Dude, incredible ending to the show. And we went backstage afterwards, bro.
What?
Dude, Venus and Serena were there. It was pretty cool. We went backstage afterwards, and I grabbed Chad Smith. I'm like, bro. I'm like, what did you think? What did you think when McCready grabbed you and brought you on stage? He's like, dude. He goes. I was like, what am I doing up here? He goes, I didn't know where to go.
Wow, so he didn't even know he was going to do it?
No, dude.
That's like a legendary. That's like a legendary show.
So Chad Smith goes, I was just looking for something to bang. He's like, give me something to bang. So he gets up there, finds these drums, and dude, it just starts. It was incredible, dude.
That's crazy. I'm a huge Chili Peppers fan, by the way. That's like one of the first tapes I got. I was in 6th grade. My dad's assistant for Christmas gave me the Blood Sugar Sex Magic tape, and they've been probably one of my favorite bands ever. Other interesting note: Chad's daughter is a girl named Ava Maybe, who got all the way to the top 10 of American Idol this past year, and she's really cool. Like she's like it's almost like kind of like a speakeasy type voice, and she is kick ass, and she's starting to kind of like go up the ranks too with the talented family they got there. And the Chili Peppers, dude. I saw some clips from some of their, because they're touring now. They got a new album coming out. They're gonna tour. I have never seen them. I have to see.
Dude, let's go. I want to see them too. I've never seen them either. Let's go.
Oh my God! You should have freaking asked for tickets. Is Chad coming on the show?
Well, no. dude, yeah, we're gonna get Chad too. We're gonna get him on the show. Dude, he's a big dude too, bro. Like I'm a big guy.
Will Ferrell. He looks like Will Ferrell.
He looks exactly like Will Ferrell, and dude, he's a big dude. He's like 6'4", 6'5", thick. Just those Popeye forearms from slinging.
He's got it. That's got to be like crazy. Those guys doing this.
He's like, forever. You want some of this? I'm like, no, I don't. And, oh my God, it's incredible.
Oh my God. Incredible. Okay, so here, last thing before we go. First of all, again, we got Brett Tomko is out there, which is awesome. And if you haven't heard his story about getting the icy hot on his private parts, you should be ashamed of yourself, because it's one of the funniest stories that has ever been told on a mayor's office. That's number one. Big Lambooski is out there right now. He's hooking you up with all your fantasy notes. Look at us, man. We're coming like a little corporation.
Big Lambooski, we're a corporation. The mayor's office. Chinch, I mean, you saw it. The Big Lambooski now has football games to talk about, which that takes it to another level. He
is like a savant, but with the greatest attitude, greatest guy. I'm glad I'm friends with him now more than anything. He's the coolest dude. He's such a great guy, dude. Yeah, he's the best, man. Now here I'm giving the floor over to Sean, because Sean Casey, who's just as much of a producer of this and has the greatest ideas that we've done on this show, has an unbelievable idea for what we're gonna do next week. And what is it, Sean? It's brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, well, I'm looking to lock it down. My buddy Dwayne Reeder runs the Clemente Museum in Pittsburgh. If you've